Analyzing why something's funny is a little bit like trying to fathom why people fall in love. Nobody can do this, but if you concentrate on the details, on the little things that the craftsmen know, for example, is there something funny about the letter K, or maybe the sound K? You ask the right people, you learn some things. Here's NPR's Scott Simon talking to two very good professional writers, Mike Sachs and Harold Ramis.
Thank you very much for being back with us.
That's a pleasure.
Harold, I guess you've talked about this over the years, but among the revelations in this book is that you, right after graduating from Washington University in St. Louis, you had a job you find particularly instructive for someone who wants to go into comedy and theater.
You might be referring to working in a locked psychiatric hospital.
Yes.
Yes, that was interesting. So I did 7 months in a psych ward of a general hospital, actually.
As a staff member.
As a staff member, yeah.
But I'm interested because you don't mean to be funny when you say this was good preparation for theater and films.
Well, actually, I had 2 jobs back to back. I worked in the psych ward, then I taught school in the crowdedest square mile in the inner city of Chicago, Robert Taylor Homes. And it was 1968. I was teaching the year Martin Luther King was assassinated. And it seemed like those 2 jobs back to back woke me up to aspects of human behavior and the human experience that I might not have been exposed to coming from a nice Jewish family and going to a nice suburban college. But I saw extremes of behavior and extremes of poverty and political agitation, and that I could only have experienced vicariously if I hadn't had these jobs.
Mike Sachs.
Yes.
Your interview with Buck Henry.
Yes.
The classic line, among so many, I guess we should say, from The Graduate, plastics, sounds like it could have been almost anything else.
It could have been, but the reason he used the word plastics is because a college professor of his used to use it all the time. And he was thinking back on his college years and remembered that and just put it in. He said he had no idea it would become such an iconic line.
Why is plastics funny and, say, nylon isn't, or stocks and bonds isn't?
You want to answer that, Harold?
I've sat in rooms with well-paid comedy writers trying to think of the funniest candy bar name or the funniest soft drink, There's a moment in Caddyshack where Ted Knight offers Danny the caddy, how about a Fresca? Fresca is funnier than Coke. It's funnier than 7-Up or Pepsi,
And is Yoo-hoo too funny? Or too obvious?
Yoo-hoo's trying too hard, yeah. But, we make these judgments, and grown people, educated people, have long debates about these things. And I'm sure plastics just sounds funnier.
Harold, can I get you to talk about timing?
Well, the old joke about timing. You pretend I'm the great old comedian. You ask me, what is the secret of your success? Go ahead, do it.
Okay. I can't believe I'm walking into this, but Harold, what's the secret to comedy?
Timing.
Ouch.
But it's true, and some of the actors I've worked with, some people score. There's a conventional rhythm. It's almost like classical music, where you watch a sitcom. You don't even have to listen to the words. It could be in a different language. You know when the punchline's coming, and you know when the audience will laugh. But then you work with people who resist any hint of conventional timing. Bill Murray's one of those actors who will always. He'll never do what you expect, and it's not just timing; it's dynamics too. And timing is one of the mechanical dynamics of comedy. But Bill was an actor who would always defy your sense of it. Lisa Kudrow has that too. She will always read a line different in different rhythm, and it can be frustrating when you've written something in a very conventional rhythm and you have an actor who doesn't do that, because they're real actors and they're actually trying to create meaning instead of just trying to create timing.
A lot of the writers did compare joke writing to writing a tune where the joke itself will be the melody. And when it feels right, when it sounds right, you just know it.
We asked people for some questions for the both of you. May I share them with you?
Yes.
I guess this goes to you first, Mr. Sachs, but again, Harold, any reflection on it? Are there any generalizations you can make about comedy writers? I mean, childhoods, happy, unhappy?
Yeah, it seemed that a lot of them spent a lot of time alone as kids. They lived inward lives. They lived in their head. They weren't necessarily out on the weekends partying. They were either at home watching comedies, reading comedy, or practicing their own writing. But what was interesting, too, I found a link, only because I, too, suffer from this. I asked all of the writers if they suffer from OCD, and I would say 70% said that they did, which was